US-Iran tensions after Soleimani killing, all the latest updates. Tensions rise as US hits Iran with more sanctions following Tehran's retaliatory attack in Iraq after Soleimani killing. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani posed a grave risk to U.S. troops in the region and had to be dealt with. Soleimani was assassinated in a U.S. drone attack near Baghdad on January 3, prompting Iran to retaliate with a series of missile attacks on U.S. facilities in Iraq several days later. Fears of imminent war between Iran and the United States have since subsided somewhat after U.S. President Donald Trump appeared to shy away from a direct military response to the Iranian missile attack. U.S. imposes new sanctions on Iran following missile strikes. The U.S. is imposing additional sanctions on Iran as a result of its attack on U.S. troops in Iraq this week, Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin said on Friday. "We are announcing additional sanctions against the Iranian regime," Mnuchin said at a White House news conference with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. The sanctions will target Iranian industries, including steel and iron manufacturers, as well as at least 8 senior Iranian officials, Mnuchin added. U.S. says any delegation to Iraq won't discuss troop withdrawal. Any delegation the U.S. would send to Iraq would not discuss the withdrawal of U.S. troops from the country, the U.S. State Department said, saying the force presence there was appropriate. Germany's Maas says Iran nuclear deal still makes sense. Germany's foreign minister said he believed the Iran nuclear deal was still relevant and European ministers would reaffirm their commitment to the accord despite Tehran vowing to scrap uranium enrichment limits enshrined in the pact. Pompeo, U.S. didn't know when, where Soleimani attacks would take place. Pompeo has acknowledged that the U.S. did not know precisely when or where attacks allegedly being planned by Soleimani would take place. There is no doubt that there were a series of imminent attacks that were being plotted by Qasem Soleimani, Pompeo said in a Fox News interview that aired on Thursday. "We don't know precisely when, and we don't know precisely where, but it was real," he added. Iran could have a nuclear weapon within 1 to 2 years, French minister. Iran could have nuclear weapons in 1 to 2 years if the country carries on violating the 2015 nuclear accord, French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian said. Saudi defends U.S. attack, condemns Iran. Saudi Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Adel al-Jubeir condemned Wednesday's missile attacks by Iran. "We take issue with the violation of Iraq's sovereignty by Iran," al-Jubeir said on Friday during a news conference in Prague where he was on a routine diplomatic visit. Al-Jubeir reiterated the Saudi position, supporting the US's right to defend itself but called for calm in the region. Iraqi PM tells US to decide mechanism for troop withdrawal. Iraqi Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi told the U.S. Secretary of State to send a delegation to Iraq tasked with formulating the mechanism for the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Iraq, according to a statement. In a phone call on Thursday night, the Iraqi leader requested U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to send delegates to Iraq to prepare a mechanism to carry out the parliament's resolution regarding the withdrawal of foreign troops from Iraq, the statement said. European leaders to hold summit to save Iran deal. European Union foreign ministers are set for a rare emergency meeting on Friday afternoon, hoping to guide the US and Iran away from confrontation. However, if it is proven that a Ukrainian airliner was this week downed by an Iranian missile, that will likely complicate matters again for the diplomats. For more update news, please subscribe below.